What are like some of your least favorite tropes you've seen in hentai manga then, or in your field?
I don't know,
or like maybe like a trope you would never personally use.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, like walking into like a girl bathing, slipping, and then like, oh, catching yourself by the boobies.
The classic.
So basically every scene in Tullover.
Yeah.
The entirety of
And
Tullover.
that goes beyond just like hentai manga. That's just like manga in general.
That's just manga in general.
Right?
Yeah. It does get old very fast.
But it's a classic, though.
It's a classic, but it's like I feel there are especially some like H manga that it's just like every chance they can get is like, so we have this new girl character.
Right.
Yeah.
How do we introduce her to the
It's gotta be
audience?
a bath scene.
They better be stinky because they're going in the bath right now. Yeah.
How much research you have to do for when you work on
Why
something
did you have
new?
to say research?
Because it is research, man. It's the only guy I can talk to and ask if it's actually research. Because it is research.
Yeah, it is research.
Yeah.
Like, the more you do, the better. Because, like,
Okay.
there are, because, you know,
Sorry.
there's so much work out there that there's always some kind of new way of showing, like, a scene or like a new angle or a new, like,
Right.
a new device of, like, you know, showing whatever.
Yeah.
That, you know, you could always incorporate into your work. So, like, you know, you should always read other people's stuff.
I mean, yeah, porn makes like Marvel's output look like nothing. Yeah. Like, there's so much out there. It's insane.
It's
Especially
hard to keep track.
Especially the doujin scene in Japan.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like crazy every time. Yeah.
Why are there so many Transformer ones?
I don't know.
There's a lot of Transformer, which I don't know.
I have noticed that actually.
Every time I've gone in the stores, there's like 15 Optimus Prime getting boned.
People find Transformers sexy. I don't know. I mean, I can't argue with
Bumblebee
it.
does pee on someone.
Yeah.
So I guess that's maybe fueled, quote unquote. I guess so.
Yeah, I've noticed there's a lot of Transformers and Sailor Moon. Like
Sailor Moon makes a lot of
yeah.
sense.
Sailor Moon makes sense.
Sailor Moon makes more
Generational-
sense. Yeah,
It's hard
but
to find people doing Sailor Moon these days, though.
I don't know. I still find a lot of like I don't know if they're new
What's
necessarily.
like the most popular ones now? Like ones to make doujins.
Well, there's always the, you know, people who do the newest thing.
Demon
Yeah.
Slayer.
Right.
Demon Slayer,
Fate.
is
Fate,
always
yeah.
popular.
Fate's always popular, yeah.
One that's
Any
one
of
that,
the idols, Idol Master.
yeah, one that's big right now is like Blue Archive stuff.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
That one, there's a lot of that.
Can you explain to me how the doujin like rules or laws work in Japan? Because like
Okay.
everyone knows that Japanese copyright laws are like non-existent. They don't. If
Yeah.
you literally, you know, there's no fair use or anything like that. But it seems to be like doujins have been like, all right, we'll let you slide. Like what's
There's an honor code, basically,
okay.
where if the original copyright holder says no doujins, you shouldn't do any doujins.
If they don't say anything, it's fair
If
game.
they don't say anything, it's fair game.
Okay.
Oh wow. So they kind of just like turn the blind eye or something, or
Yeah, basically. I mean, like, recently, you know, there's been Uma Musume,
Yeah.
and they said no doujins. So
Oh, wow.
people
Really?
don't do it.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Almost feels like you're a waste not to though.
Yeah.
yeah, you'd think that's like the one
Plus Uma
series.
Musume as well. Like,
Yeah, like that's like waifus galore, right? For a
Yeah.
lot of the fans, so you'd think there'd be like a massive market.
Well,
for
you know,
that.
it's based on like real life horses.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
you know, it's kind of like,
That's
you know,
true.
you don't want to
I guess
see
like
that.
weird politics come into
Like,
that,
it's
right?
like,
Yeah,
it's like my baby. I don't want to see my baby kind of like, you know.
yeah.
Better stick to apes, right?
Yeah. Horses overrated. Apes though?
Apes are where it's at.
That's the real shit right there. I can't get over that. I really want to read that.
Yeah. So like, how much of your work goes into preparing for basically Comic-Con? Because like,
Right.
and how much is it just in general trying to appeal to like, you know, just the mass audience and, you know, putting your work online nowadays?
Well, back when, you know, there was Comic-Con,
Yeah.
Rip.
you know, twice a year, that's like the main bread and butter of like your doujin work.
Right.
So, you know, 2 of these, and then that was pretty much like if you're like a moderately successful doujin artist, then Comic-Con twice a year, you could live off of it,
Damn.
Okay.
Wow.
you know. So people usually do that, and then like other doujin events on the side or like magazine work on the side.
Yeah. How hard is it to get like a booth or a table at Comic-Con? Like, what's the process of that
So
like?
Comic-Con, by the way, is like Japanese Comic-Con. It's massive.
Right.
Comic
Very-
market.
Very
Yeah,
huge.
comic
Comic
market.
Very huge.
It's like what, like 300, 400,000 people or something.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's the biggest convention, right, by far.
I think it's one of the biggest conventions in the world. Yeah. And it's all Dojin.
Yeah, it's all Dojin.
All Dojin?
It's all Dojin.
Yeah, it's not like.
Well, it's not all like hentai. It's like every
fan
kind
works.
of Dojin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Because Dojin just means like,
Self-published.
self-published stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like a lot of like
I learned that from Trash Taste as well.
yeah. Because so there's like entire sections of Comic where it's just like the non-era
Yeah,
stuff.
it's
right?
like just like novels or like music or whatever
That's
you
so
want.
cool, though, that can attract that many people.
yeah.
yeah.
I feel like there's a convention like that in the US or the UK. I don't think it would be nearly as big.
Well, because like it's anime is just a lot less accessible over there.
True.
You know, like if they want the same kind of anime convention experience here in Japan, you just go to Akihabara.
Yeah.
Right. It's a lot. So I can understand why there is this market for this here. But it seems like, like you said, a lot of livelihoods depend on the two main comic-ettes.
Right.
So like, how hard is it to get a booth there or to be a part of that event?
Like if you're established, then you get I think you get priority seating.
Right.
Like, if you've been to Comic-Con before and you've been consistently like putting stuff out,
Yeah.
they'll look favorably on you and give you a space usually. But if you're new, then it's like a dice throw basically.
Do you have to know someone? Or?
No, I mean it really is pretty random.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's gacha.
It's got
A lot of events, like ticketed events in Japan, are just lottery, right?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like completely luck,
Yeah.
which sucks because it's like, well, I was here first. Can I have a ticket, please?
Yeah, you'd think it's like first come, first serve,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
Because how did you get your first booth in Comic-Cats?
I just applied.
You just applied?
Yeah.
and then he rolled
And
the
then
S.
and he rolled the SSR.
All the SSR, dude.
So if you're like not established at all and you go to Comic-Cat,
Right.
how are you getting people to come stop by the booth or check it out?
I mean, if people walk by and you're like, "Hey, take a look at my stuff," and then that's how you have to do it.
But I think there's also like a lot of Comic goers who are just there to purely consume all the new shit.
Yeah.
And they're kind of like there to like as like scouts almost to be like,
How many tables are we talking? How many
Oh
salads?
my god, I have no idea.
thousands.
A lot.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Yes, it feels like if you haven't made a name for yourself, how on earth would you stand out if there's thousands of people?
I mean, if you've seen like a picture of Comic-Cat, it's like it's like a sea of like
Yeah.
people, and you get drowned out easily. So it's just like you have to hope someone walks by and takes a look at your stuff.
It's literally like busking on the street, right? It's just like you just have to hope that you're drawing enough that you just have to hope you're drawing enough attention where someone will stop to like listen.
Well,
right?
nowadays there's Twitter and other like
Right,
SNS,
right,
and
right,
you can
right.
have an online presence before you do Comic-Cat.
Yeah.
How important is that as an aero artist? To
I don't know.
have
I'm
Twitter?
pretty old school, so like it doesn't matter
Yeah.
because I started before Twitter.
Right,
yeah,
So
Yeah, I guess you were already established before the
Right.
social
Yeah,
media
yeah, yeah.
thing,
But
But I
right?
think
Yeah.
nowadays, if you're starting, it's definitely important to have like some kind of online presence.
And I feel that like just I think especially on Twitter, like that community as well is like really supportive of other artists. Like
Yeah,
I see like Dojin artists I follow on Twitter retweeting other Dojin
Yeah,
artists
yeah.
Joey
all the
retweeted all
time.
of it, so Joey's
I don't retweet any of it, mind you. I only like it. It just appears on your timeline. That's all.
Yeah, I think I follow like 2 Dojin artists or something.
Yeah.
Like at the start, and then like just by following 1 or 2, my entire timeline was filled with hentai because they're
constantly retweeting each other's stuff, right?
Twitter must know as well when you scroll and stop for a moment. I feel like it knows because it starts.
Oh, yeah.
It keeps pushing it.
It's like you want more of this, right?
You spent more than 2 seconds on this.
Yeah. It's like he stopped scrolling for 5 seconds and didn't like. Well, we see.
But Dojin Twitter is really wholesome, though. Like people
Oh,
are really
it is,
supportive
yeah,
of each
yeah,
other.
I've seen
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
really
I always,
supportive.
hear Twitter is like a cesspool, but like you don't really see it if you're doing Dojin.
Yeah,
Well, that's why half the people I follow on Twitter are just Dojin artists. Because I don't want to see that other fucking horrid cesspool of Twitter. Yeah.
It's like the Pornhub comment section, right? Which is like the most wholesome comment section you will find on the internet.
It's like, yes, King, thank you for your input. Appreciate it. W plus I can.
Everyone's got too much post-nut clarity to like.
Yeah, exactly.
right?
Mind empty. Truly focused. Truly enlightened.
I can, plus I asked.
Yeah, like I guess have you ever thought about having like putting more effort into having like a more like bigger online presence and maybe like growing your audience there and getting like an audience that will support a Patreon or like
I have a Patreon, but I'm really bad at updating it.
yeah
Because I'm just I'm lazy, first of all. But like when I get into like drawing something, like if I start working on a project, then I'm too focused on it to do anything else.
Yeah.
So like updating a weekly thing is like, oh god, I have to spend hours like doing that instead. of this.
Yeah.
So
what
it's
about like
pretty
stuff
hard for
like do you have like a Skebu or anything like that?
No, not at the moment.
Have you
I'd
ever
like
thought about
to,
it?
but then it's like more stuff I have to do.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Do you want to explain what Skeb is?
Skeb is basically like it's like Fiverr where you can like commission artists to draw whatever it is you want. And like I think in like recent times Skeb has like really gotten massive overseas just because like a lot of like independent VTubers, you know, especially like hire Japanese artists because, you know, it's like I'm an anime, you know, I'm a virtual anime girl. Who am I going to get to draw a virtual anime girl? Probably an anime artist with an anime style, right? So that's like really blown up recently. And like I know like a lot of like independent artists and like doujin artists like live purely off of Skeb commissions,
totally
right? Like some artists make like bank off Skeb. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of porn on Skeb. Like a lot of porn.
There is.
It's like an insane amount of porn on Skeb.
There is a lot of porn.
Yeah.
A lot of porn that can be commissioned by very, very talented artists.
Exactly.
Like the disparity between the work you see on Fiverr and the work you see on Skeb is like night and day.
Oh,
sometimes.
dude, not even a comparison.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
crazy how good.
Yeah, if you want to go commission good arts, good artists, go on Skeb.
And like Skeb has like a feature now where like even if you write the commission in English, it auto translates to Japanese.
Oh, it does actually?
Yeah. So like a lot of Japanese artists now, like you don't have to write in like broken Japanese, like the auto translate thing. Yeah, you don't have to be like konnichiwa, commission, please. You know, like you don't have to be like that now. So like because like I know a lot of like my English speaking friends who don't know a word of Japanese, who just commission a bunch of Japanese artists and they get exactly what they want.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really cool. They really like optimize that.